Well, hello. I'm Rachel, and this is Smart Impressions. So we are unlocking business relationships one connection at a time. Now, if you ever felt like you are just not in the highest frequency that you really are destined to be, and you're kind of like lingering in and out of these waves that may not feel really intuitively like the right type of energy, well, our guest today is going to take us through this magical, amazing experience of humanity where we align our energy and influence, where we make quantum impressions. So welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here, Angelo Kabambi. He's the facilitator at Quantum Healing.io and helping people that may be suffering of this misalignment. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for the introduction. I'm very happy to be here and to share with my knowledge with the audience.
Incredible. I was blessed enough to have met you at a trade show recently where you had some really unique setup. And I must say, I've never seen that before. It was such a beautiful setup where you invited people to come into a space and really go inward and to really connect with who they are. And, people may say listening, going, hey, well, what does that have to do with like my business or getting first impressions or how people see me? But I feel like there's a big alignment or disalignment depending on how connected you are. Would you agree?
Yes, exactly. I would say like a lot of people misunderstand the way sometimes they are acting as they think they are and not acting as they are. And they need some moment of clarity to receive the right information so they can move forward. And this is what I do. I do that for individual. I do that for group. So they can that will help them to reduce their stress and to move forward into the life they really want, to receive the idea they want to have, and to create to craft the project they need. You see.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk about that because I think, excuse me, we need a little bit more understanding about energy, the power of energy, and how that plays a big role in, alignment to the influence that you have on other people. Let's just talk about that journey, because I know we could have a long conversation about the purpose, the life's purpose of what you're supposed to be doing as far as business, right? But before we even get there, who you are, what you're connected to, and separating yourself from your ego, essentially, so that you can impact others in your highest frequency. How do you control that? I mean, it seems like such a big, ask, and maybe difficult because we don't learn it, right?
Actually, it is more simple than we thought. Our body produce like electromagnetic field, but we're gonna just call it like your personal cloud, you see. And I have my personal cloud, you have your personal cloud, and we are all connected. Even the planet has its own personal cloud, even the city, etc. So I can sense you, you can sense me, depending on how sensitive you are, you see. So if you send good you charge with good thoughts your cloud, you're gonna be happy, and other people are gonna also sense it. And that's also gonna help you to connect with people with that frequency. If you're stressed, you're gonna project stress, and then you're gonna think with stress. And this is so just to maintain the way you're thinking, gonna help you to stay in that high state of well-being, if you can call it that way. And also, don't be too euphoric, because if you're too euphoric, you're gonna start doing decision like taking bad decisions. So the ideal is to be balanced, to be neutral. And there is way to do that,
Amazing. And so what you're suggesting is that if you're stressed and when you meet people, they'll be picking up that frequency, right?
Yeah, yes. And for example, if you are surrounding yourself with millionaire, you have the high chance to become one. You see, you can even see like if you put like a soldier marching in a group, you're gonna start sync within a minute with that group. You see, so we all sync with other people. We interact with other people. So choose who you want to interact with, and then you're gonna start becoming that way, you see, even by reading a book or etc. So it's all like that. And it's
Mm.
more simple than we thought, you know.
It's more important, right? And it's, these are the opportunities where we're not learning this stuff in school. Personally, I find it extremely valuable. It wasn't until my 30s till I shed some light into this space, the quantum impressions. I mean, we hear it with quantum computing, we hear it with quantum, physics, we hear it in so many different areas of elements. It's the possibilities are really endless. But you came from a corporate background. You started in the corporate
Yes.
world and you made a shift. What really caused that shift to happen? Was it something, a caller inning calling that you felt? And how did that develop into like how you're working with people individually?
Yeah, you see, I always being very sensitive and very creative. And from the young age, I was feeling like I was downloading the information, you see. And for me, I really think that we are all channel. It's like the radio. When you listen like to the music, if you start looking for the band inside the radio, this is very, you won't find them. You won't find any bands inside the radio. It's the frequency that is playing that music is coming from elsewhere. And this is the same thing with our human body. We are just channeler. And when you're more aligned, you receive the information in smoother. So what I was doing, it was I was always enjoying helping other people to reach their goal. You see, as a coach, in the business, in the daily life. So having that positive impact always bring me a lot of joy, and I'm natural calm and steady. So what made me take that leap is I was listening to my body and I was listening with my body. When I start like doing the meditation, I felt like a surge of energy in my arms, you know. I didn't know. I was like, okay, what is that thing? And then I even experienced like the Tibetan sound bowl, and then my hand were moving, doing some geometrical patterns. I was like, okay, maybe this is how it is for everybody. And at the same time, I have like some friends and some family who start getting like they were like sick. Some had like cancer, burnout, and I was like, okay, I don't see how can I help them. You see, and that led me to a certain journey. I started like researching, learning, activating, and practicing. You see, and over the time, I developed my own method to use that energy to interact with that energy. And even though the learning never stopped, you know, because we have to stay humble with all of that, I do interact with it and I have good results, you see. So it's an inner knowledge, and it is like the DNA, you see. The DNA, I don't know if you heard about the DNA polymerase. When the DNA, the process that the DNA is growing, you see, it is growing when the right information come, transformation happens, you see. And this is the same with human. When we receive the right information, we transform. If you have, like, for example, any allergy, example, you're allergic to honey, and out of nowhere you're not allergic anymore, what happened? You see, your DNA received the right information, so it had been transformed. And with time, you can even pass that to your kids and to the next generation, you see. So this is really something, it's happened like that. So receiving the right information, then transforming into something more structure, you know.
Mm. Yeah.
And yeah.
Wow. Well, there's no doubt. I mean, there's a lot of people. Dubai's a busy city. People are working here,
Yeah.
playing hard. You probably see a lot of people that have like both end of the spectrum, where they have the social life,
Yeah.
but they have responsibility. And there's a very high misalignment maybe with what their pure higher self is. So I want to just take a moment. What is higher self? People hear it. How do you
uh,
explain what the higher self is?
you know, this is so, because the higher self, even myself, I was like, what is the higher self? But the higher self, think about yourself as you have like quantum double, but like not like you see the Russian dolls. This is the way we are. This is the way the universe is, you know. It is infinite and we are all connected. So there is a version of you who is perfect. And then there is a version of you who is perfect at that version of you. And this is going up, 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 up. So we have different version of us. And all of those versions, what do they have more than us? It's just access to a certain kind of information. But as we are all connected, at a certain point, what you seek, you can receive. You see, by having a higher vibration, you can go to receive some kind of information that you wouldn't be able to receive if you don't do certain things, you know. And also, if you're going down, okay, you're going to start receiving, attracting also some kind of vibration that is very low, and
Yeah.
that's going to bring like, yeah. So the higher self is just another version of you in another sphere, if you can call it that way, you see. And they are there to help us. So if you're seeking for any information, just ask yourself, because you're asking yourself. You see, it's not you're asking for something, you're asking yourself, please, Rachel, Angel, Rachel, help me, you know, okay. And be precise, you know.
That communication channel of just being able to speak it out loud and communicate. And I can't tell you, this is one of these topics that I absolutely love to dive into because, we're put on the planet, we're pressured with jobs, people out there maybe listening that have work that they do not feel fulfilled, but they have the pressures
Yeah,
of responsibility that they need to, comply to, maybe relationships that don't feel so fulfilling, and
yeah,
and there's our world is so complex, so it's so easy to project and blame, and so this show is all about like taking responsibility for yourself, your world, your life, your journey on this planet, and really being aligned, because when you do get aligned, I do feel the right stuff for you starts coming into your field. And if you are misaligned, you're going to feel a bad day, everything going
yeah,
wrong, worst relationship, the worst job, no sales, right? And
yeah.
things can get really bad.
And you know that our natural state is the well-being, and the burnout is not the only way out, you see. There is so many solutions to get that, to bring back this harmony. And even me, I still remain active as a general manager of my two other businesses, because but I just kept like a few customer for that, because I still love doing that, you see. And even with what I'm doing now as a quantum energy facilitator, I still help other people to reach their goal, you see. But with the help of the energy, so they receive all those information, they're like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that. And by doing that, they start, their business is growing, even the productivity of the company change, because if you have people coming to work with a good mindset, the business is going to run smoother, you know. Even they're going to have more idea, so that's going to contribute to a better business situation. It's a win-win situation. Taking care of your employee, they're gonna take care of your business. But if you don't take care of your employee, okay, forget about like the result, you know.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, if that's not the most important thing you've said this entire session for everyone listening, if you're a business owner and you're not taking care of not only yourself, your staff, like your business is not going to thrive. Like you can't have these expectations because it's misaligned. So, God, we could talk for a while, Angelo. Let's get
Yeah.
right into the top 3 tips that people need to just recognize, and really practical tips that they should really prioritize so that they can be more aligned. What do you have for us?
Actually, there's so many things, but I choose like I would say they need to be coherent and consistent. When I say coherent, they can do that with breathing exercise. I even have some that I give for free on my on my YouTube. The breathing. When we are talking about alignment, this is like the alignment with the gut, the heart, the brain. This is like our main energetic center. You see, to say do what you say and say what you do. You see, so consistent, for example, if they like to go to the gym, they need to go, okay, don't go one time, go 3 times, you see. Don't stay consistent with what you do, be coherent with what you do. And I will also say like stay active, the energy, like the movement, because if you don't move, it's not something good, you know. Go to the gym, act as a kid, because when you do act as a kid, you do things that you love, not just like something that came to you. You see, this is very important. And I would say the last one, it will be more like listen to your body and listen with your body. how do you feel when you have to go to work? How do you feel? This is like the body is like our biggest transmitter and receptor. So use it. This is our body. It's important. So
Wow. Wow. I love that. So consistency, active and
yeah,
movement, and listen to our body. Use that as a signal to
yeah,
really drive our life of what we need, what we want, and what makes us feel really good and alive while we're here on the planet,
yeah.
in this physical
Bec-
form. Angelo, I'm going to call you my angel. Thank you so much for all the
Thank
wisdom,
you.
and all the impact that you're doing to helping people. I can't stress enough how important it is to feel aligned. I am so aligned with my purpose, my positioning, and what I need to do
Yeah.
to help people. But it's always a daily challenge to make sure that you stay there. So if you're struggling to stay there, get in touch. I want to make sure you share your YouTube for that free breathing exercises, because breath is a superpower. We'll dive into that next time. But thank you so much for being here and sharing your wealth of knowledge with our community. Namaste.
Thank you, Rachel. And I'm really here for you guys. So do not hesitate, Let's build a better world together.
Absolutely. Merci beaucoup. Oh, I love it.
Merci.
Well, this show is sponsored by the Biz Angels, and that is just another whole realm where if you're not connected to what you're doing, outsource it. Get someone to do it that really knows how to do it. And check it out online,
Yeah.
bizangels.com. We'll talk to you guys soon. See you on the next episode of Smart Impressions. It's a pleasure to be here with you, and thanks for spending your time today. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.